everyone. My name is Meryl and this is the last video in a series of short little videos in collaboration with Cape Town Music Academy. So in this last one I thought I'd talk about not a technique or a piece of equipment, but just an exercise which is useful to do if you're thinking about a project that involves technology. It's a really good idea to go through a conceptual exercise where you decide what you want to do. So again, this could be any number of things. I've been through this process a number of times with one of the classes I used to teach, where people will present a live music performance, really integrating technology into the performance. So we can come up with wonderful and crazy ideas at the beginning, and it could be anything you want. But the real issue then is to figure out how you are going to make that work in a practical sense. So the first thing to do in this exercise is to write down your idea. What do you want to do? You want to live stream yourself and 5 other musicians, or you want to play collaboratively with musicians via the internet, or you want to release your music on whatever platform you've chosen. Or perhaps you're a teacher and you are preparing videos for your classroom, or you're trying to figure out how you're going to teach something online. Whatever it may be, write down your concept and then write down the technology that you're going to need in order for you to produce that. Do you need to know how to record in order to do that? So that's a skill you have to work on. Do you need a piece of equipment or a piece of software to facilitate that? That's another thing you have to work on or find. Do you need other people? Do you need to do this on your own? So there are all these questions. So once you've written down just those basic things, the next thing to do is to devise a plan to getting you to the end result. What I normally do is I write down 3 columns. First, the things I know I need to do and that I can do comfortably. The second column has difficult problems that I have no idea how to solve. So I know I need to work on them quite a lot. The third column has unknowns in them, things that I'm not sure of. I might need it, I might not need it. I think I know how to do that, but I'm not 100% sure. So those I may leave aside for a little while, but not for too long. I can't ignore them because they may be important. The first thing to do is to ensure that you can do the things that you think you can do. Test them out. Make sure you have everything you need in order to do them. Next, tackle the difficult column. The problems that you have no idea how to solve, that you don't know what to do about them. Go back to some of the things I've said before in the previous videos and do some research, ask questions, look around the internet, go and ask questions in forums to help you solve those problems. It's amazing how quickly you can move things from that middle column into the left column of, I know how to do this. It's very important to consider who you are presenting to. Are you going to present to a live audience? Is this going to be a stream project in real time? Is it going to be a recording that's pre-recorded and edited? And think about the audience. Think about who your audience would be. Is it for the general public on YouTube? Is it for a classroom? Is it for entertainment? Is it for sponsors? Who your audience is important, and how you present it then is as important, specific to that audience. The next thing to think about is who are the participants? Who are your partners? Are you doing this by yourself? And do you have to do everything yourself? Or are you collaborating with other people? If you're collaborating with other people, it gets more interesting and perhaps even less daunting because perhaps they have skills that you don't. If you're all beginners, it's also a good idea to divide tasks or processes up between a team of people. It makes it less intimidating and more doable if you're a group and you're working together. the next thing to do is to eliminate the risks. Make sure that the 3 columns you've written down are very heavily weighted towards one side before you even start doing anything practical. So what you want is most of the questions that you started out with need to be in the I know how to do this category. So you don't want anything in the I have no idea how to do this and I'm just going to busk my way through it category. And you don't really want to have too many issues or too many questions in the I'm not really sure whether I need this or whether it's going to become an issue or be an issue column either, particularly if you are going to do something live. If you're doing something that is going to be edited and can be fixed before you actually complete something, this is okay, because as you get to those problems, you can fix them. But if it's live, the unpredictable type of problem is probably your most critical one, and it's probably the biggest concern. So in that sense, you want to almost try things over and over again to try and eliminate any of those types of problems. It is good to rehearse. It is just like when you are playing music. The more you rehearse, the better prepared you are. Being a jazz musician myself, I know that there is often a tendency for people to not rehearse very much because we don't want to lose the spontaneity or the impulsive nature of the music. So this is fine to a certain extent, but it's still better to rehearse more rather than less. You can certainly leave out the improvisational areas to be in the moment, but you don't want to end up with unnecessary problems because you didn't rehearse enough. There are birds on my roof. Certainly the biggest issue with technology is rehearse, 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 even if there's a lot of improvisation happening. Even if you're not rehearsing the music, you need to rehearse the technology, because that is not something you want to leave down to chance. So my advice, if you're going to do a creative project using live technology, is to rehearse as much as possible and to eliminate as many risks as possible. I hope this has been useful. Thanks for listening.